What's up? It's Andy Grammer with Jag.
Hi, this is Carly Rae Jepsen, and you're listening to Jag.
Hey everybody, it's Joe Jonas hanging with Jag.
This is Heather Knox, Playboy's Miss January 2012. With the hottest Jag I've ever seen.
It's B.O.B. checking in with my homie Jag. So much swag with my homie Jag.
It's the Jag Show Podcast.
Welcome into another 5-Minute Friday version of the Jag Show Podcast. What's that? Oh. Turns out today's Thursday, but like many of you, I don't know what day of the week it is anymore, so here we go. The big podcasting news this week is that Google Podcasts, the Google Podcast app, is now finally available on iOS, so iPhone and iPad and other Apple devices. It seems like Google has been lagging behind for years now in the podcasting space, but like many other businesses, they're seeing the current coronavirus COVID-19 situation as an opportunity to really invest in podcasting. So now you can get the Google Podcast app on your iPhone or your iPad. If you have a podcast, Google Podcasts will find you, just like Google searches will find you. There are some kinks in the system for the new Google Podcast redesign. You can check the link in the show notes for more information on that. Now, we knew that the coronavirus was going to have a big effect on podcasting. Turns out one of the most notable effects right now is in advertising spend. Some categories are way up, some categories are way down. For example, advertisers that are spending more money in podcasts, it would stand to reason. VPN providers, household products, alcohol advertising. There you go. Not surprisingly, travel, live entertainment, and gambling, those and other categories are down because you can't leave your house. More on that on an interesting article from Medium.com, also linked in the show notes. Now, there have been a ton more podcasts produced and released and created related to coronavirus, COVID-19. A number of existing podcasts are doing coronavirus-related episodes. But before you do it, think about it. Yes, it is topic number one that everybody is talking about right now. But unless you're providing valuable insight or resources, you might want to push the pause button. Figuratively and literally. Because think about how many emails we've all gotten in the month of March related to coronavirus. Some have been really important and useful and helpful, like, for example, DoorDash, contactless delivery. That's relevant. That's an important service they're offering in the current climate. I also got an email from the Michigan Lottery that was just kind of a copy-paste of all the state guidelines that have come out from the governor's office. That didn't offer me anything. If you are going to do a podcast and remind everybody to socially distance at least 6 feet and not leave your house unless you're going to the drugstore or the grocery store, people have found that information everywhere else. If you provide information that is redundant, that people are getting in a million other places, that is not unique and in your own voice and maybe in some ways helpful, people are going to smash that unsubscribe button. Content is king, and any radio or podcasting person will tell you your content should be about your audience, not you. Turn that mirror around on the audience. If you're just talking for the sake of talking and telling everybody to stay 6 feet apart, there's no value in that. Make sure there's value in your content. You have a captive audience right now. People are at home yearning for content. Make sure your content is good. One final note in podcasting news this week, that is the podcasting platform Anchor is now making it easier to record a podcast with multiple people. Now, I've got mixed emotions about Anchor. I haven't used it. I know people that have, and they like it. If you're just dabbling in podcasting and you don't have the funds to commit to it yet, you can play around in Anchor because the hosting is free. The jury is still out as to who owns your content, and there's some back-end stuff that I'll spare you the technical details of, but there are some question marks around it. If you're serious about creating a podcast, if it's for your brand, your business, or you're really going to go at it full bore with your own personal podcast, use a respected host like Simplecast or Libsyn. There are many others. Full disclosure, I am a referral partner of Simplecast, and that's all in the show notes if you want to check it out. But be wary of Anchor. Again, Anchor is great if you want to just mess around and not commit any money to it. If you are serious about your podcast, I would recommend a more established podcast host. And again, I'll remind you, if you haven't checked it out, I do have a bonus episode this week about how to record your podcast remotely. There's a great article from thepodcasthost.com with even more information on that. I'll link to the show notes as well. And again, I am recording remotely with all clients right now. It doesn't take much to make a podcast sound professional remotely. Whatever you do, just don't speak into that microphone on your laptop. We'll be able to hear it from a mile away. You'll also sound like you're a mile away. Again, if I can help you with your podcast, you can find me at jagindetroit.com. Send me an email, jag@jagindetroit.com. Follow me on social media @jagindetroit. Thanks as always for spending a couple minutes with me today. Stay safe, stay home, and hopefully by doing so, we can get through this just a little bit faster. Later.